We're on YouTube, where everyone is happy.
Which means, yes.
And not
really,
nappy.
yeah.
Can you just pick from the damn bag? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Miss Happy over here, as you can see on that. Okay, then I won't worry about it. And I don't want to. I want to hear a very happy
This is my
voice.
favorite one.
Well, see?
I love it. No, really, this is my favorite nut. You cannot go wrong with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost and Ballet Pink. There's just nothing wrong with it, ever. I actually put it on right before I came in, but I'll do it again. Also, really quick. Hey, I got you something today.
Uh-oh.
Look at the cute packaging
Yes.
with the cute care instructions. Right? Cute, adorable. Open it.
Yes.
It's not really for you. It's actually kind of for my child, but you made me go out of the way to do it.
See?
What?
Here's some. There you go. That's for.
Isn't this so cute?
Yes, I love it. Super K.
What do you think?
Had his, 5th birthday here the other day?
Yes.
Yes.
Happy birthday, my little love bug.
That.
But a friend of mine made this, and I think she did an amazing job with the packaging and everything. And look at the cute little care instructions that came with it. I mean,
Oh.
isn't that cute? Care instructions, and it tells you how to wash it and everything.
Wow.
And it's a little freaking T-shirt. Very cute. Thank you. Oh,
So
and I need to give a shout out to my niece because she made me this adorable bracelet with an S on it. And then she made all my kids' bracelets as well. And a shout out to my sister who got me some birthday presents a little early. So thank you. I love you guys.
Wow.
Yep.
I think every day's your birthday.
Where's my gift?
See?
Did you give me something? Well, that's a disappointment. Yeah, that's how that's been going ever since I came in and getting locked out. I'm going to throw that out
Yeah,
there.
and that was my fault.
I'm just throwing it out there. Got locked out. Who does that? Only your producer. Only your producer. Anyways, that is Makeup with Stephanie. Happy Friday, y'all. My favorite one. Good pick, dude.
Well, I'm on a roll.
I don't know what you're rolling
You should
on.
have. Yeah, you should have heard the aforementioned about half hour before we came on the air.
Hey, I'm being nice now. Once the cameras come on, my attitude changes. Great.
I'm
a delight.
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every day live at 5. On Newswire on Facebook and
On YouTube, make sure you go and hit that like and subscribe button.
that. And as we'll roll into, and we'll at the bottom of the hour, we roll into the Mighty Met 1490 KMET on that. Another fun, and what is it that we usually call this?
Fast Friday.
Boy, I saw that look of panic on
Did you see it? I was trying to hide it.
Yes. No, it was very obvious. So how many times have we done that, and you're still like...
Well, sometimes we go freaky. Sometimes we go funny. Sometimes we go other words that we don't say when we're on. I mean, you just never really know.
Every minute's just a new adventure for you, isn't it?
It is. That's why I'm always so damn happy. I never know what's going on.
I wish I
Shut
could.
up.
I mean, I know I really envy you for that because I wish I could do that sometimes.
What, just ignore you? It's
Yeah,
very easy.
well, no.
Everybody does.
Everybody does, yeah. Wait. I thought there was no question about that.
No.
No, I mean the part of just like, no cares in the world, just forget about everything, nothing, like everything's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, because that's how I normally am. I mean, sometimes. Anyways, I don't know if this is an insult or a compliment. I'm not really sure how to take it right now.
Well, I would take it as a compliment.
It doesn't feel like one. It does not. But anyways.
Oh, speaking of all the other stuff of going on, we just had a deal on Facebook on our IE Newswire page where you can become a supporter. And we had Daniel and Josh.
Joshua.
Josh came on. And Something, and it was a great. He asked a question. We're going to ask that in a second, but it was a great segue because I made a post earlier, I think on Monday, on this about in reference to what Josh wanted to ask the question. Whenever you have Josh's comment or not comment inquiry ready, let her rip.
Okay, so I think, I mean, like you said, he became a supporter, and I wanted to give our supporters the option of asking a question for the show today.
They can
to start off with. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun. So Josh wrote in yesterday, and he wants Roy's opinion on this. I'll give mine too. Not that I really have one, but anyways, what will California look like 2 to 5 years from now? Because he's looking to purchase a home in California and isn't sure if he's going to be able to afford it or live here happily. So what do you think, Roy, that California is going to look like 2 to 5 years from now? Go.
2 to 5 years from now, you're going to see an ever decreasing middle class. You're going to see probably a mass exodus from the suburbs of California. You're going to have a basically two-tier system. You're going to have the very poor and you're going to have the very rich. And even amongst some of that, you might be going on. There was just a study out, or a lot, maybe not all, a lot of the tech giants, Google, Facebook, Apple, their headquarters are in Silicon Valley and up in the Bay Area around San Francisco, San Jose, and all that. Well, they only anticipate 10% of their workforce returning to their jobs once the COVID thing all goes, let's just say whether it's tomorrow, next week, 6 months from now, and we're talking about something else or that's all behind us. We're talking about 90% of the jobs in the Bay Area that they have will not come back into the offices, everything else. That is going to have a profound effect on our economy. Because up until the 80s, Southern California was the basic driver of California's economy. We were manufacturing, aerospace industry, we even had auto plants, everything else. There was a big base of manufacturing on that. We decided with this whole greenie crap that we're going to get rid of that. We basically made it almost illegal to make manufacturing things like that. Even our last car plant of the electric car that Musk is doing up there at Fremont in the old Toyota plant is about ready to go. They're not building that Cyber, and I hesitate to call it a truck. It's not a truck, but they're building that. The new plant for that is moving to Texas or being built in Texas right now. He's threatened to move the Fremont plant that builds the Tesla cars out of California because of all the BS going on here. You're going to see a ever increasingly tough situation by all of the stuff that's going on. So flip up number 4 on the deal because this is the post that I put up. And
really quick, we got to give a correction. We were calling David Daniel, so we meant David and Joshua.
David and Joshua.
We love you.
Yes. So here's the post we put up, and I want you to notice how many people's reach, engagements, all that, comments, shares, over 500 shares on this post coming up. And this is a typical scene you see and posted on social media all the time. When California was a solid Republican state, it had the strongest middle class in the nation. Now that the state is reliably blue, it has a middle class exodus and the biggest homeless and poverty rate in the country. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's not, I've said it how many times. We were the once golden state of California. Up until 1990, we were number one. Education, economic demographics, every other demographic you could, we were either 1 or 2 or 3. But I mean, mostly we were number 1 at everything. People came to California for opportunity. Now people are leaving California for opportunity. And as we pick up on this, hopefully we're going to have
What's going on with the screen?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in their screen, and I don't know why our producer engineer has left us on the deal. But we have some we're getting a double screen on the There you go. Not on one, we're having a focus problem on between 4 and 1. It's giving us like a double image on it. But no, it goes to the point of what I've been talking about on that stuff. If you look and see, ever since we done that, and I will tell you, 1988 this started. It was the teachers union because in 1987, because of the GAN spending caps, which came out of Prop 13, we got $1 billion tax refund. We got $1 billion tax refund. The teachers union couldn't stand that. They got Prop 98 passed, scaring the parents and all. Oh, your kids are getting deprived of all this stuff. Mandated 40% of the education or of the general fund budget goes to education, all that stuff. And then 111 came on in 91 by Garamendi, which stripped the GAN spending caps. Hence, you have seen California plunge to the bottom since then and going further. That's what you got to look forward to in California. Now, you want to talk about all this stuff. Look at $200 million in the last 10 years the California Teachers Association has made in political contributions. And that is to raise their salaries and get benefits. And that is not to educate one kids, because at 20 grand a pop per kid in there, we should be having the best education, not only in the United States, but in the freaking world. And this is all caused by this stuff. You want to change it around, and I want to hear the teachers union. I want to hear the teacher or the teachers union up across America that's at their school board, or you can call in 951-242-5397 and be demanding your school be open here when it's supposed to on August 15th or whenever.
12th.
And I'm ready 12th and ready to teach. And if this school district doesn't do it, then Katie bar the door. We need to do like Trump said, take your money to a charter private school or whatever, because we cannot afford to have kids 6 months a year with no education or very little, or this hybrid stuff that they know is not going to work.
Are you done?
No, but I thought I'd take a breath.
Good, because we need to keep breathing. So that's California 2 to 5 years now, or are you just complaining about the now? I feel like
No, that's what you're going to get. You're going to seek declining education.
See, I would want to. I want to give an opinion, but then at the same time, when you're in class, and where do you see yourself 10 years from now? 10 years ago, did anyone say locked inside a house on quarantine? I mean, what's the point of really? I mean, I don't know. You can't really plan for the future.
No, but 10 years ago, many of us were saying the same thing.
We weren't saying a virus was going to come in here and we were going to be screwed.
We were pointing to the decline of California. And why that? And what did the mass majority of the people do? Oh, Gavin Newsom, he's so cute. I'm glad he's our governor. He should run for president.
Who would think such a thing?
The vast majority of California is at 60+%. And you know what? The gender, they pointed.
But maybe he did a good election and he sounded like he knew what he was doing and people trusted him. I mean,
52% in the presidential election 2016, the gap was bigger. 52% of males voted for Trump, 41 females. That's the biggest gender or sex gap in history, and it was bigger in California in the governor's race in 2018. This is where your problem is that you come across this, we're having an ever bigger divide on this stuff, and you look at the emotional aspect, and that's what the semi-mocking of that is. The chicks are looking at the emotional aspect. Oh, I look at the guy, he's good looking. Well, we don't care if he's hosing us under the workbench and all the stuff and doing this. Wait, oh, he's a nice looking guy. Oh, yeah, I'm glad he's our governor. I'm glad he's ruining our economy, killing all of our businesses, kicking our kids out of school and everything else. That's what you got to look forward to in California.
Well, Joshua, thank you for your question. Roy has given a thorough answer, as usual.
And this is why. You want to see...
No, it's a good answer, though.
You want to see this? Since we're on the hair gel, he's so good.
Shut up with that voice. No, stop it. Thank you, Lucy, for the button. I love it.
Here you go. This is what Democrats, Gavin Newsom, and the California legislature poll on you of this. This is on One American Network, OAN, Gavin Newsom, on his new $3.7 million mansion.
And new details are emerging that appear to indicate California Governor Gavin Newsom's new $3.7 million mansion was gifted to him under highly questionable circumstances. Here's One America's Pearson Sharp.
Stop right there.
While the rest of Californians are suffering under Governor Gavin Newsom.
Gifted the governor got a $3.7 million mansion gifted to
Who did
him?
he get it gifted from? Maybe he came into a wealthy family. You can't, I mean, that's just...
That's why we're going to play the rest of the report.
All right, well then...
Newsom's
play it.
onerous lockdown and struggling to pay their bills, the governor appears to be making backroom deals to pay for his massive new $3.7 million mansion.
Did you hear that? Backroom deals to pay for his $3.7 million mansion. Go.
According to investigative journalists at Red State, Newsom was apparently gifted the 12,000 square foot estate featuring more than 8 acres of land along the American River in Fair Oaks, just outside Sacramento, through an LLC that's owned by his cousin. Newsom's cousin, who is also his longtime business partner, Jeremy Scherer, paid for the estate in December of 2018. Less than a year later, records show his LLC gifted the home to Gavin Newsom completely free, stating that Newsom was part of the LLC, allowing him to avoid the transfer.
Okay. He got this gifted in December of 2018. What happened in November of 2018?
What? He got elected?
Correct.
Okay.
Go.
Yes,
For
sir.
tax. The problem is Newsom didn't file any of this extra cash, and they aren't mentioned on his financial disclosure forms, which also don't include the LLC or the millions of dollars in gifts. Then, in January of this year, Newsom received $2.7 million when they finalized a cash-out refinance, and that was all tax-free since proceeds from mortgages are exempt from taxes. Attorneys and legal experts say being gifted such a property through an LLC is a huge warning sign for tax and regulatory agencies and likely indicates either tax fraud, money laundering, or a payoff or bribe.
Tax fraud, money laundering, or a bribe is indicated by these actions, experts say.
But... Are you done with your video, or are we still going to go back and forth
go
and play
ahead.
tag?
Go, you got a thought, let it roll.
How do you know that that's true, though? People make up stuff. We're going more.
Currently, Newsom has failed to report at least 6 months' worth of rent, as well as the value of the new Fair Oaks mansion he received last year. This could result in some serious legal consequences, including criminal prosecution, since the value of the rent on its own totals more than $17,000 a month, well above the $500 a year limit on gifts. Newsom's acceptance of the mansion from the LLC is technically illegal. Tax experts also say because it was a gift, the value of the home itself, over $3.7 million, is also considered income and must be reported to the IRS as such. But this isn't the first time Newsom has managed to avoid paying the taxes he's imposing on the rest of us. Back in 2003, Newsom was cited because he conveniently failed to report more than $11 million in both real estate and business loans. He also failed to report at least $2.1 million in loans from his pal, Gordon Getty. Newsom makes roughly $1.3 million a year with his wife, and at the time he received the new home, owed at least $3.2 million on the mortgage for his previous house, meaning he likely didn't have the cash on hand to buy the new home himself. So then, as it stands, Newsom appears to have received a $3.7 million home as a gift, as well as $2.7 million tax-free, while also retaining the title to the home, adding up to what experts say could be construed as money laundering.
Okay.
You know what? I think we need to give Gavin a big peace sign and say, peace out. Give him a peace sign. Give him a peace sign. There we go.
I mean, he's been,
David writes in.
doing this since 2003. Go ahead.
David writes in, you're so gullible sometimes, Stephanie. It's a nice way to put it.
You better. David.
Thank you.
David.
Shut up, Roy. He's not talking to you.
You better be glad you're not sitting next to her when you said that on the computer.
I like David. You?
Of that. Here we go. Here we go. Look, more? Oh, yes. It ain't over yet.
Meanwhile, a picture of Newsom's new front gate at his Fair Oaks mansion shows the pro-illegal immigration governor does, in fact, believe in physical barriers to keep people out. Pearson Sharp, One America News.
Well, there you go. Now keep that up there.
Okay, we're going back.
Here,
Make up your mind.
on top of the $3.7 million mansion, again, why does he need gates at his house to keep people out? I thought, as the report said, everybody's just supposed to roam the country. You can go. There should be no barriers for anything.
He said that?
That's what the whole...
But you know, and I can see he's mayor. He should have gates around his house.
Why?
He needs to have security.
For what?
Because people are crazy these days.
Well, yeah. So
I want security, and I'm not a freaking mayor.
All of that. But again, if they don't commit crimes, if there's nothing to worry about, they're just pure than the wind-driven snow, then why do you need gates? Exactly right. Because of this.
Honestly, though, Governor, no matter what you say, it's somewhere along the line. You can be the greatest person in the world. You're still going to piss somebody off. You're still going to make somebody mad. There's a lot of crazy people out there. I can see where he would have protection like that. I mean, a lot of celebrities have gates and stuff like that. You think they shouldn't?
Well, if they're going to spout all this stuff that, you can't keep people out and you're chaining the, you're restricting them, yeah, because we want to know who is coming in this country. We want to know that they're not criminals,
but that's different
and everything
than
else. And they
protecting
promote
your family.
Illegal immigration, which we don't know who the hell's coming in here. It's the same thing. It's a double standard of what's going on, and that's, I could care less.
See, David agrees with me. He gets it. High five in there.
If you go to this deal, I could care less if Gavin Newsom was green with a horn sticking out of his head, if he was up there working honestly for all 40 million people of California on that. But when you're ripping us off, you have a history of doing it. It appears you're doing it again at $3.7 million mansion.
That's insane. That's a nice house,
that you
though.
get for nothing?
Maybe people just like him.
Yeah, well, then
and he likes stealing people's money. I mean,
there you go. I mean,
Steven writes in, does he have a huge ice cream freezer like crazy old Aunt Nancy?
I'm sure if he doesn't, he probably will have. Somebody will probably donate it to him next week.
Kevin writes in, no school this year because of this hat. Newsom also.
Again, go back to Josh's question. What did I say when this COVID thing first broke out? I said, education as you knew it is going to be gone.
And you did, and that really pisses me off that you were right. Stop throwing it. You know what? It happened because you said it.
No.
You threw it out there in the universe. You word vomited into the world, and then now it happened.
As I told you, since in 1988, when the odious teachers union passed Prop 98 and started California into the decline, many of us has become a declining percentage of the population of California, have been saying exactly this. No, you can see it by what's happening. As soon as they come out with this, the day they close the schools, I said, aha, they figured out how they're going to dig themselves out of this pension deal, out of the crisis they've commissioned in basically bankrupting our schools in California and probably across the nation, but I'm more familiar with what's going on in California because we're the worst at it. Potentially us and probably New Jersey and New York are leading the charge in stupidity on education. And you could see it. If you've been studying it, it's like, okay, it's like going to the races or, if you want to get into race car engine building or designing or stuff like that, and I see a problem or I see a car that's ill handling or something or that, and you and me are standing there, who's going to be more likely to diagnose it or look at it or say, this is what's wrong with the race car like that, da-da-da-da? obviously it's going to be me because I've seen these things happen before. I'm familiar with it. I've studied it. You watch cars go around and say, oh, ain't this great?
Wow. Way to put me down.
So, but no,
That's cool.
I'm saying
I'm
this.
kidding.
Now let's take the flip side. Like when you do the graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm two left thumbs, don't know what I'm doing. You run through that stuff like Grant through Richmond. And it's just, because you've done that, studied that, probably have a natural inclination of doing that kind of stuff. And it just comes easy to you. I look at it and say, well, I can fumble through it, but I have no idea what I'm doing. That's what I'm saying. It's the flip side. It's your experiences. So it isn't that necessarily that I'm the biggest genius in the world, but I'm just been watching, studying, been involved in the politics, looking at it, watching the direction it's going.
But how did he go that long with this mansion and nobody... David writes in, you're going to love this one.
He's
David's
been at it since 2003 on the convictions.
Really?
You read that? You didn't listen.
Yeah,
Said back in 2003, he was pop for X,
I wasn't
Y, and
busy
Z.
talking to everybody else on here.
Yes.
But David writes in, nothing is free. Someone somewhere is getting something for that house.
Exactly. Where do you think all this... How do you think that we got conned into the $1 billion and now almost $1.5 billion mass deal?
Dun, dun, dun. So you think Mask are paying for that house?
You've seen there with Gordon Getty. Getty Oil has been long established as one of the very wealthy deals in that. He's related. So is Feinstein. Is Nancy Pelosi and all that, and Jerry Brown. They're all intertwined. They've been together for all these years on this stuff, and it's absolutely incredulous. You don't have to figure. Let's get to Feinstein. Her husband. This is how you know this stuff. Her husband is Dick Blum. He runs one of the biggest hedge funds in the world.
What's her husband's name? I'm sorry.
Dick Blum.
Okay.
Most people call him Richard Blum. I call him Dick Blum.
Okay, you came up with it. I thought you said something different.
Remember when back in
It's
08 and the financial crisis and all the housing bubbles, blam, and half the houses are bankrupt, all that, and they got to redo the mortgage, the financial system's collapsing, everything else. Dick Blum, the Obama administration gives Dick Blum...
Stop saying that. I laugh every time. I can't be serious.
The contract to redo all the mortgages and all that stuff. Well, old lady Feinstein sitting up there as Senator of California for God knows how many years.
Is it Feinstein or Feinstein?
Feinstein.
Feinstein?
Feinstein's what I call
You're
it.
changing everybody's name.
Yes.
I have
because
no idea
they're
who's
evil.
who.
Yes, because they're evil.
But then people are going to hear the name and be like, who the hell's that?
Here's what she said on the Senate floor. California Senator, you know how you get Gavin Newsom? We elected this dingy broad long before him.
Stop calling people broads.
Here
it
we
makes
go.
Me sad.
Well, there clearly is a difference between the East Coast and the West Coast. Where I live, we don't hold China. In the words of my predecessor speaking, we hold China as a potential trading partner, as a country that has pulled tens of millions of people out of poverty in a short period of time, and as a country growing into a respectable nation.
Let's stop right there. China is a respectable nation, has tanks running over their people, not to mention giving us the coronavirus, giving us all the cheap stuff, taking our plastic stuff, burning it in incinerators, running pollution right up the deal, killing their people massively. How many, forcing, because of the population explosion, forcing young girls to have abortion if they have a female child, and now they have an overpopulation of males. They have a totally screwed up communistic society, hell-bent on taking over America, and you want to know why I call her a dingy broad? She's calling that a respectable nation?
But you can still be nicer about your words and not be a dingy broad. It hits my soul. That's all.
You got to call it as you see it.
I know, but I like to use
And you
other
got to
words.
call it as it is. Because we cannot run 100% on emotion. We got to deal with the facts. The facts is the majority of California went in 94, and she was supervisor in San Francisco and mayor, just like Newsom was, and all that. You want to see the pattern? You want to see where this comes from? You want to see how I can see how this stuff is coming? Because I follow this stuff. And because he who is prepared for what's coming is the most likely one that's going to come out on top of this. It's all the people that are getting hit like this corona deal on the blind side of this that are ones that are going to suffer.
Or you can tune into iNewswire, and Roy's just going to give you all the details every day. Right?
Well,
See? That's why he's here.
more on the dinghy bra.
among other nations. And I deeply believe that. I've been to China a number of times. I've studied the issues. And during our committee hearing, we heard Professor Keitner testify that the United States has the most to lose by permitting civil lawsuits against China for harm.
There you go. We have the most to lose. That's what Trump was the one that finally said China's been stealing our intellectual property for decades, infiltrating our universities, stealing our research and development, bankrupting many small businesses because they would take their. But this is what we're talking about: stealing intellectual property. Say you invented the new widget that's coming out and it's getting popular.
Sweet.
And you're starting to sell these. You're starting to become, making money, starting to hire people to manufacture this stuff, finding it out. China will come, take your product, copy it, send it back on that. They didn't do any of the research. They didn't do nothing. Send it back in their factories with their slave labor that this dingy broad says is a respectable nation that treats their people worse than dirt, and come back and put you out of business because they'll sell it to Walmart and Target and all that other place you buy all this cheap crap from at half the price, and you're sitting out there in the cold. What are you going to do? Sue somebody in China? They're going to laugh at you. And this has been going on for decades. They've been killing us with the help of Feinstein, Clinton, both the Bushes, Gavin Newsom, Cuomo's, and the whole lot of them. Hillary Clinton and the whole yo-yo of the deal.
You need to hit something here. Go ahead.
No, you wouldn't want me to start.
Oh, shit. Shoot. Oh, crap.
It's a good
It's your fault. Anyways, I didn't say nothing. Well, we have a producer here that's supposed to push that little button.
You want to see what's going on?
see,
You
here
want,
we go.
and we will have. And I'm going to try and I didn't want to bring it out today, but to follow up on Josh's deal, you're going to be surprised who the next group or has been and who's the next major group that's going to be leaving and is and has and will leave California. It will probably surprise 98.7% of you. And it's not what you typically think or the typical reason or narrative or just plain, if you want the straight talk, BS you hear from the dominant media every flippin' day. And that's what we got to stop. It's like that. You want a bribe taken, in my opinion, guy up there in governor who don't give a crap about you.
Hi, Sean.
Hey guys. Hi Stephanie.
Hi.
As I said, you want that piece of trash up there screwing not only your future but your kids' future right into the ground. And go ahead and just keep saying, "Oh, he's so cute. I'm glad he's a governor. I hope he runs for president."
You know what? Don't judge me, okay? I never saw the president thing, though.
Oh, they say it all the time. Look on iNewswire when I play the
Oh, just
when
'cause
I
they
play
want,
the
they want to get under your
Gavin
skin.
Newsom stuff. Oh my God! It's
30 seconds.
It's enough to
Doris
drive you
agrees with you. She says that she knows businessmen who personally went to China, and they would meet Chinese businessmen, and they would conduct business together.
And Doris would know because she probably cuts the hair or has cut the hair of many of those high-level executives up there.
All
And
right, guys, here
probably
we
got
go.
some inside story on that.
Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The proceeding was a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday at 5:30 on the Mighty Met 1490 KMAT on a Friday.
That was loud. And that scared me. Hello, wake up. See, he's frozen.
Well, you're the one that got me all fired up and said, "Okay, this is
I
what
did
we're-
nothing.
This is what we're going to talk about at the top of the show when we come on live
Hey,
at IE Newswire."
If our supporters, they are supporting us, they want to ask questions, we're going to ask them. I didn't say you had to go on about it for 30 minutes, but you make your own choices, Roy.
I could go on for 30 hours on this stuff. I would make
so
it
hot.
the one thing that
Talk
I
about
would,
the weather, how miserable it is outside.
the one thing, and I always saw, and we talked about old lady Feinstein, our odious senator, who called China a respectable nation. If for no other reason,
I don't think they're respectable, but I think you should always respect.
they are not a respectable nation. No way.
I think you
no
should always
shape, no
respect
how.
people,
But
though.
that blank has made probably billions of dollars with her crooked husband, in my opinion, Dick Blum, on all the stuff that we outlined earlier. That, yeah, she would say that, just like Gavin Newsom has no problem spending $1.5 billion of your dollars on a Chinese mask company. Just start peeling all the stuff of how this works.
I can't because I don't be like you and I'll be mad. We need someone here that's happy and ditzy. Wow. See, now I'm even insulting myself.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Oh, shut up. I was kidding. But no, I don't want to be grumpy and mad like you are. I come to you and you give me my news.
Isn't it?
It's a win-win.
I mean, isn't it incredible, though? Like I said, it's a very...
No, that is maddening. And
it's a
since
very
I've been
tight
doing the
circle.
show, and I'll do a serious note really quick. Since I've been doing the show and hearing all these things, because I really didn't pay attention to a lot of the stuff going on. I mean, I have 4 kids. I'm busy all the time. But honestly, it's terrifying to see and read what's going on. It's maddening.
It is. And for those of you that...
And my kids are going to be growing up in that. I don't want my kids to be that way. I don't want my kids to see that this is how you're supposed to behave. You're a freaking governor, and you're getting I want a house.
Yeah, $3.7 million. Not a house, a $3.7 million.
I don't want a mansion. I would never want a big house. I can't do big houses.
Again, it's ridiculous. Like I said,
Susan from Hooper Valley writes in that China makes cute stuff.
I give up.
Hey, she's my mother. I mean, now you know where I get it from.
So you
Love you, Mom.
backhandedly called your mother a ditz too.
She's accepting of it. She's fine. I didn't call her ditz. You did.
No,
I disagreed.
You said
I love you, Mom. I'm going to stop talking now.
You said
Shut up, Roy.
you called yourself a ditz, and then you said, "Well, that's where I get it."
She wasn't
from."
watching at that point.
You got to remember, this is all on videotape and in the
She's not going to
archives.
go back and watch it. She won't know how to find it. Just kidding. I love you, Mom. Hey, we're going to come over tomorrow and go swimming too, if you don't mind.
And it runs on the replay every Tuesday
shoot.
through Saturday at 8 a.m. So even though even though you can catch us on that, and
Roy made me say it. Roy and Sean. I'm going to throw Sean out there too. Sean, you're in trouble.
do just not take. For those of you that
Anyways.
joining us on KMET wondering what the heck we're talking about, one of our supporters on IEN Newswire on the blog, Josh, ask ask opinion. Well, what are you thinking of buying a house here or moving to Texas or something, and what's California going to look like? And we had that, and we're going to next week. We're going to further delve into that because a new report came out from a very credible source, scholarly report that came out. The narrative is that, it's the middle class. Well, let's just put it more honestly. It's those dumb white hillbillies that are moving out of California. Of that. Of that. Well, let's get down to brass tacks and go on the blogs. You hear people say it like on that post. Go just back up. Put the post. Let's see if we got the post back up there on that IE Newswire.
You're a control boss.
On that. Good. Put that up there. Go back. This is on the archives. You can look at it. Go look at the comments of people saying, "Good riddance. Glad you're going. Get the hell out of California." And when you want to see this, because this is what was posted, it was posted another one of the deals, and I ran the deal of and I posted this. I don't know, Mimi or whatever of that. When California was a solid Republican state, it had the strongest middle class in the nation. Now the state is reliably blue. It has a middle class exodus and highest homeless poverty rate in the country. And when you our standard of living for cost of living, as Richard Ryder pointed out, we're number 39. When we were number 1 a scant 30 years ago, and we went through all the details, you can go watch it on the archives or watch it on the replay at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning on IE Newswire on Facebook. Go through all the stuff because it's very important. But we're going to, and I just found out at our bench today, and I'm going to try and get the guy on, because we've had him on before on the show, who did the report of that. You're going to be shocked at who the new wave of exodus, what groups are exiting California.
Can you tell me after the show? Because now it's bugging me. Are you going to make me wait?
Possibly. Only if you're nicer to me and stop beating me with the stick.
Really? It's my favorite thing. I think it's everybody else's favorite thing, too. It's not. You got to stop saying stick, because people think this is it's really just cardboard. I hit people with it all the time. It's fun. No, I'm just kidding. Do you want me to stop hitting you with a stick?
No.
Okay, good.
It does that, but no, it's absolutely crazy of what's going on that. And it's absolutely crazy that what goes on this stuff, and we've been talking more or less about that on that. And we're going to start, we've got our guests on from Orange Show Speedway. We're going to get to him in a minute. But I wanted to get to this story real quick of what we've got.
That is wrong in so many ways.
Put it up on the screen. Coke with coffee is coming to the U.S. stores in January with 3 flavors. As you're seeing that, Coca-Cola with, now,
caramel?
Both of them with caffeine on the so your soft drink Coca-Cola has caffeine in it. Coffee obviously has caffeine in it. Are you going to talk about being wired 100% on this deal?
That is insane.
Here's the KTLA 5 report. Coca-Cola said Friday will debate a new Coke with coffee drink in stores in the United States. What do you think of that?
I think that it's going to... I don't like Coke, though.
Neither do I.
I'm not a Coke fan, even if... so I'm a Dr. Pepper chick until the day I die. But even then, no. That's just coffee is coffee and soda is soda. And I don't want that much caffeine anyways.
Yes, why would you want to ruin the great coffee as I'm drinking now?
You want to talk about ruined coffee? Tell people how you drink your coffee. You ruin.
We will after the break, but I want to get to our guest coming in because the second Speedway in Southern California, I think, is opening up. Paris Raceway's run a couple races. We've been out there covering them on that at the Speedway bike track, but I think, if not the oldest, one of the oldest tracks running in California. It was built in 1946 out of World War II on the WPA project on the fairgrounds in San Bernardino, the Orange Show Speedway. They're going to be opening up tomorrow night, holding races on that. And I don't think they're going to have fans in the stands, but I think they're going to have a pay-per-view deal on that. We have Jack Hughes from Orange Show Speedway, the race director, on the line to tell us all what's going on. Jack Hughes, welcome to IE Newswire Daily with Stephanie and Roy.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic.
Doing well.
Tell us what's it. I'm glad, and we're doing this for all businesses, especially racetracks and stuff, because it's one of my favorite deals and grew up in that industry. Attended my first race at Orange Show Speedway at 6 weeks old on that, back when it was the original dirt track. That tells you how far it was back there. So I spent many a Saturday at Orange Show Speedway. But tell us what's going on Saturday. You're open finally. 2020 opening season at Orange Show Speedway Saturday. Go.
Yeah, so our first race is tomorrow night, August 1st. Typically we open up in March or April, but this year it's August, which is fine. We have, I believe it's 6 divisions on for tomorrow. Practice starts at 2. We got qualifying at 5:30, and then trophy dashes and main events start at 7 p.m.
There you go. What divisions are you opening up with on Saturday night out there?
We have the Bandoleros, we have pony stocks, street stocks, late models, the Pro 4s, and the Enduro cars.
So who's all out there? Let's say with the late model division, who's the hot runners out there that'll be out there Saturday night?
I don't have an exact list of who's entered. Typically we have Lenny White, Parker Malone, Rob Kimmerly, to name a few. Not sure who's driving Clay Wooster's car this year, Robbie Hornsby or Jeff Peterson, but Kyle Meyer from Highland. Those are the typical front runners in the late models.
Yeah, I do, Lenny White, the Colton Cowboy, he's usually when he shows up the Orange Show Speedway, it doesn't matter if he's in a pony stock or a late model or anything in between. He's pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, he's ran really well at that track. I would say since the mid to late '90s.
Yes, he's been a pretty popular guy out here running all the tracks across Southern California. Good on dirt, won many races at a Paris Auto Speedway, Orange Show, and all that. And I first come across him when he started driving the pony stock for the legendary Jerry Dodd out there for that, and go back with Chainsaw a long ways on that. But he's developed into quite not only a good fabricator of race cars, along with being one of the top drivers in Southern California out here.
Yeah, he's done really well across, like you said, a number of tracks, number of surfaces. He's pretty good at his craft.
You got it. Explain what Bandoleros, that's an interesting division. Explain what those cars are.
Yeah, so Bandoleros, I believe they're third scale cars, and typically you have basically children. I mean, I've seen as small as 6 years old up to 13, 14-year-old kids running these cars. They're INEX sanctioned, so they kind of go along with the Legends, which are the little, like, 34 coupes. And they get going. They're running 15 and a half, 16-second laps. They're running the same lap times as full-size cars.
Wow.
This is going to astonish you, but, I mean, back in the 70s, and if you go back and look, and you can have Don Harkey probably, he's the unofficial historian of Orange Show Speedway. You go back and look at the programs of that, the old NASCAR late model sportsman division we ran over there. You're going to look and see that you would be lucky to see fast times in the 15-second bracket in the 70s. To see little cars that kids are racing doing that same speed that the top division that was running there 30 or 40 years ago is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it truly is. And with the ages of these kids, you have children running those lap times at 10 years old. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's kind of unreal for me to think of that, watching that and thinking, that was the fastest thing you would see pretty much running there back then. And now you're seeing little kids in these little cars going that same speed. I mean, it just blows your mind and it blows your mind to see how fast or how much advanced technology has in racing that you can pull something like that off.
Right. Yeah, it truly is.
I want to get my kids to go race.
There you go.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, you can check him out on.
I'm going to have to go check out Orange Show Speedway.
Orange Show Speedway on that. Again, tell them, and I think they can run it. You won't have fans in the stands, but I think it will be on a pay-per-view basis on a low-budget TV. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. If you go to lowbudget.tv, they'll be streaming the races live with live commentary. Tommy and Jeffrey will be running that for us.
You got it. So have a good opening weekend out there, opening Saturday night on that, and hopefully we can get to the point where we're putting fans back in the stands, not only at Orange Show Speedway but everywhere else.
Yeah, we sure are hoping so. We're waiting for that. We're ready.
You got it. Thanks for coming on, Jack. Have a great racing weekend Saturday.
Have fun.
Thank you. You guys have a good weekend.
You too.
There you go.
Bye.
Like I told
I
you.
saw one place they had they maxed out their stands, so they had cranes, and people rented cranes, like 15 cranes, and brought them. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. What were they doing that like to watch the show from?
Yeah, watch. I'll try to find it right now.
Yeah, find out where that. Yeah, I'm curious to see what. This is the lengths you have to go to see a live event anymore on the deal. You can. But no, that's fascinating, and it isn't it kind of criminal that you have to go to that sort of extreme.
I wouldn't say it's criminal. I would say it's stupid.
I think mine's better. I think it's criminal.
All right.
Stupid is more of
Wow, I'm saying stupid and you're saying criminal.
Yes.
Strange. Right here.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's our good buddy Steve Evans from that. So where are they at? Oh, fans rent cranes to watch the Speedway race in Poland. The stadium was with a capacity of 13,000, was only allowed 25% of the seats. So fans rented 18 cranes to watch the game in order to abide by social distancing. Yada yada yada. Isn't that freaking nuts? You imagine?
I think that's brilliant, though. I mean, that's funny.
It is
that they went and did that.
You know that probably.
I mean,
cost them.
That's sad that they had to go to that extreme. But you know what? They wanted to go to that extreme and support that stadium, so that's cool.
But you shouldn't have to go to that extreme to rent a $500 crane or lift to lift you up to watch the races of that. But that just goes to show you how committed fans are of racing, that they would go to that extreme to rent. 18 of them rented, a lift crane to go out there and watch the races as that. And two, I imagine it's kind of a blank you to all this, lockdown, COVID virus, whole thing of that. Okay, you're going to put the constraints on that. Fine. We'll just figure out a way around it. You gotta love the ingenuity of just plain people on that. Wouldn't you agree?
I completely agree. I think people are getting pretty clever these days.
Yes, but like I say, it's criminal that you have to go to that much of that far of an extreme to watch the races of that like that. You're gonna of going of that. Oh yes, here.
Here's this one.
Go ahead.
MLB is reporting that 47 cardboard cutout fans who were at the Mets games over the weekend have tested positive for COVID-19. Uh-oh.
Notice Roy did not mention up to what?
Oh, crap. Am I the first one to mention it?
Into the show.
Oh, my gosh.
Because, as I said...
But you know what? No, pause. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. David wrote in and wanted it, so I did it for him. Thank you, David.
I got a big ration of the blank before the show that we're not talking about COVID-19 on the show. You're not to
or Black
mention
Lives
it.
Matter.
Your Black Lives Matter of that. So
people need a break from it, but David, that was funny. It doesn't count. Thanks, David. Now you got me in trouble.
No, you can only get yourself into trouble.
No.
So I think we're going to get another one on here of the...
Maybe. I don't know.
No, isn't it the... How long is it going to be before Major League Baseball season's canceled? Because they're canceling more games. More of them are testing
But you know what I
positive.
saw? There was a basketball game on the other day.
Yeah, they started... Well, yeah, yesterday was the first basketball game. How long before basketball goes? What's going to happen when LeBron James gets COVID-19 or something and he can't play? Who's going to watch? The only reason to watch the Lakers is because they're LeBron James.
Right.
Because if he ain't on the team, they suck. Like they have.
Who's LeBron James?
Yeah, some kind
I'm
of
just kidding.
famous basketball player.
What's basketball?
They dribble a ball around and they throw it in a hoop for about 48 minutes and see who wins. See who can do it the most time
I
wins.
can't find it. Never heard of it. No, it was he said it anytime. It was this post I saw, but I can't find it right now. But it was the first fight of baseball season. It was two cardboards fighting each other.
Yeah, that's how ridiculous we are. Yeah.
But I love whoever's doing that. But somebody's got to be there doing it. So who's there doing it? If we can't be there, why are you there?
Yeah, the whole thing. It's patently ridiculous. The whole thing. It's like the whole thing of we're going on about that of what we're doing. That, and I even set you up more. You really brought up the deal before. You brought up Steve Evans, that talking about how the fans in Poland on the Speedway races were circumventing the COVID-19 restrictions. So it wasn't David that did it first.
Yes, it was. He's the one that said it's fine. We like you, David. You're cool.
We love David. Just that
he brought it up. It was a great thing. Thank you, David, for
and
bringing that up, because it was hilarious.
Love to run the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, because then you would see what went on that. And
what went on? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Of that,
Did something happen and I missed it?
Yeah, it is all. But no, it's crazy, all the stuff we're going on. And
I'm going to do some behind the scenes on Instagram. You're making it sound like stuff's going down here and I'm evil. I'm really not.
I've said it before. The first law of holes is so simple.
But I can't.
It is the hardest thing.
David, stop agreeing with Roy.
For people to comprehend when you're in a hole. Stop digging.
I don't know what that means.
You're not I'm not blaming you, because you're not the only one. 99.99999% of the people cannot grasp that simple concept. When you're in the hole, stop digging.
I feel like I'm in trouble. Like I need to go sit in the freaking corner. I don't want to though.
But it's crazy of all that. That's why, like when Paris Raceway opened up, that and had the races over there in Paris, and Orange Show Speedway's open, he figured out a way to do it. That, I mean, in defiance, like we brought out yesterday, Kalinga and Atwater, and maybe we'll get the mayors on from Kalinga and Atwater, who Newsom's withholding the federal funds, which are all our funds, but they went from us to the federal government to the state. Now he's withholding them because they're saying, we're not abiding by your stupid rules and regulations. So he said, okay, we're not distributing you any of the federal funds we got. So they're saying, why? Nothing's going on here. There's no COVID spread. It's probably, in my words, it's all a bunch of BS anyway.
I agree.
So, but this is the kind of stuff.
Yes, it is the kind of stuff where he's choking. Are you okay? Medic! I'm just kidding.
You didn't want me to belch on the air, so I was trying to comply.
Heaven forbid, before the show, I say, hey, let's not burp today.
Trying to comply with your instructions.
So you're choking because you... Oh, my God.
Well, I was trying to hold it back, and as of that, I started choking.
You just start choking?
Yes.
Wow. Why?
I
don't know. Anyways, moving on.
I don't know how the stuff's going. But no, that's why any businesses or stuff like Orange Show Speedway that's attempting to open, Paris Raceway that did, or anybody else that's trying to do something semi the way it was before all this madness broke out, we're going to highlight them on this program of that, because as I was just listening today, there's a small businessman in L.A. who's got a shoe store. His business is declared non-essential. But you can go over to Walmart and buy shoes.
Right.
He's going to be out of business. A Yelp study, 55% of all businesses that have closed since March, since all this stopped, are permanently closed now in 4 months and growing.
I know, it's heartbreaking. It really is.
Go ahead.
No, carry on, because I'm going to totally switch it right now.
Well, go ahead. We only got a couple minutes.
Okay,
so
well,
you better
speaking
get
of
in.
businesses, you guys got to tune in on Monday because I booked a very special guest that a business and a passion that him and his wife created, and it really touched my heart, and I'm really excited to bring him on the show, and maybe he can give you guys some information to where you can start your own business as well. So I think it'll be really good. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm really, really excited.
I really
about
hope you're going to have the opportunity to start a business of some kind.
Well, I think what he does, though, I think
Yeah.
it's needed around here, and I think that it's
Anything-
a blessing.
anything
Anyways.
help
It's a
because-
feel-good story.
Yeah, as that. I mean, that shocked me when I read that today. That came across 55%.
But you have a good point, though. Why is the shoe store closing? But yeah, you can go and buy shoes at Walmart.
Again, it's part of the deal.
But nobody wants to share like the struggle right now.
We had that on there with Feinstein saying China's a good nation. Who sells all this crap?
What a moron.
Walmart,
Who says that?
Amazon, all that stuff of the cabal, they're putting it all together.
What's
and
that
you're-
word they call her?
Target, you guys are all lapping this stuff up. I mean, you know.
Can't think of it. What is it?
It all works. You know, it's all a very tight circle. You know, $1.5 billion for masks that hair gel bought from China with your tax dollars. It probably
He had a mansion too.
Yeah, and he gets gifted a free mansion. Wonder where the money came
I
from.
wish I could get gifted a free mansion. Anyone want to gift a free mansion? Pick me. Over here. Over here.
Good luck.
Thanks.
You'll have to
take
get
it.
elected governor of California, and then
No.
magically that'll appear.
No, I would never. I can't do shady stuff like that. I'm too honest. Damn it.
Well, then, no mansion for you.
I'll still take a house though, or a
We'll be
car.
back on,
I'll take $20,
we'll
10.
be-
I don't care.
We'll be back on
Bring me a
Monday to
lollipop.
do it all over again with our special guest.
Yeah,
Until
with
then,
Daniel.
we're
gone. Dinky bat. That's what it was. I'm chopping stuff over here, dude.